Hey everyone, it's Alex. Today, we're cranking up the adventure, firing up the motorcycle, ripping those twisty back roads, and heading deep into the Pacific Northwest woods for an epic Morel mushroom hunting mission. The wind in my face, engine roaring, and that electric rush knowing I'm chasing one of the most prized wild mushrooms out there. I ended up finding and picking several pounds of beautiful fresh Morels, a haul that would easily sell for hundreds of dollars at market prices. From thrilling forest finds to bringing them home and processing them two different ways, you're not going to want to miss this one. Gears packed, tanks full, and the woods are calling. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today, planning to go forage some mushrooms, some morel mushrooms that are in season right now. And while I'm riding, I found this really cool spot here. That's an old cellar from a house that is now no longer here. It's a nice little campsite that I'm gonna put down as a place I'm gonna come out and do an overnight camp. So yeah, come join me today. Let's see how lucky we get. Apparently there's supposed to be some good mushroom fields out here, so I'm excited to see if we can find some. Thank you for joining. Let's see how it goes.
The weather is perfect for this type of outing. It's about 70 degrees, little breeze, and I mean, that's all you want. When it gets a little warmer, like in the 80s and 90s, it kind of gets a little hot because we're riding in a jacket and all. But during these times, this is perfect.
Basket that I have installed here, I use it a lot for foraging. It's just simply zip tied on with a couple of heavy duty zip ties, and then I just have a net on it. Really kind of helps to keep things in there. Like if I want to take my jacket off, put it in there, or my backpack. But other than that, I do have a long trip coming up, which I'm interested to check out and see how the bike does. Because the tank here that is on the bike, it's about a 1.7 gallon tank, and it doesn't last much. I do have an auxiliary or additional little tank of gas here, right there, but that'll only give me about 20 extra miles. So when I go plan these longer trips out, I gotta kind of plan them accordingly. If I have about 80 miles between fill-ups, I really have to make sure that I kind of space out my fuel ups. So I'm excited to see how that goes. This whole valley burned last year. It's a pretty big fire. It doesn't look like it now. I mean, you can still see some of the black on the trees that charred. But other than that, it looks like the forest is growing back really nicely. Once you see views like this, you really appreciate the Pacific Northwest. There's a reason why Washington's called one of the most beautiful states, the lower 48 at least. I know Alaska kind of is up there. I think Alaska takes the cake. Happy to be living in this state, and plan to make a lot more content. And if you guys are able to subscribe, that'd be great. You cannot put a price tag on this. So we're out here now, and this is kind of the forest that the mushrooms like. And once I find one, I'll show you guys how it looks. But yeah, so you just kind of have to keep low to the ground. And as you're walking, kind of scan. There, you look like little trees growing out of the ground. So let's go. Found one. Right there. But I'll take, oh, here's another one right there. Got two of them. These are one of the small ones, but I'm gonna start picking because I don't know how much is gonna be out here. And any mushrooms right now are good mushrooms. But once I find bigger fields, I'll just be collecting the bigger ones and leaving the small ones to grow. And for the next mushroom picker, you gotta take care of your own community, right? Also a good tip, when you are out mushroom picking, make sure you pick your head up sometimes. Kind of look around, look at tree marks, because every year there's a lot of mushroom pickers that get lost in the woods and some don't make it out. So I also use good old Garmin, have it set up to track me mode. I turn it on when I'm at the motorcycle and it tracks my path up the mountain. That way, if I do kind of lose sight and get a little bit disorientated, I'm able to click the path back and get back to the motorcycle and not become a statistic. You're scanning, you're looking, and then as you get down, reveals itself. Usually what we do is we cut this portion off so that it doesn't get the other mushrooms dirty. That way it keeps everything nice and clean and you don't need to really wash it as much. Yeah, beautiful mushroom picking areas. So far so good. To all my fellow mushroom pickers, I think y'all could agree that when you just come out to find mushrooms, finding the first one is hard. Get your eyes accustomed to it, and once you find your first one, maybe second one, it's almost as if the forest unlocks and you start finding them left and right. Still need to get my eyes accustomed to it. Let's keep pressing on. That's steep. That's really steep. Just picked this handful. That's when they say this is a good season, and I think this is a record. I have not seen this amount of mushrooms in years. It's abundant out here. I mean, I gotta say, I'm probably gonna be coming back here to pick some more. Seems like an inconspicuous hole. You peek in there and you have some hiding in there. Some good ones. Yeah, it's crazy. I almost have to crawl through these bushes. Get some of these. I'm definitely coming back here. No questions. So if you guys like this type of content, please subscribe. I think there's going to be definitely more to come. And I also want to do a little bit of cooking with these on my next camping trip. I'm planning an overnight, and so I'll be doing more cooking with morel mushrooms. Wow. Wow. No words. I don't think I have enough bags. I got mushroom, 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 mushroom. And that's been this way for the past 20 minutes. I have been picking in this one little area here. We got a good bag already, half a bag. I guess it gives me a chance to come back. I almost feel bad. I wanted to hike a little bit more, but I've walked a total of 0.1 of a mile. I thought I would at least do 2 miles. Bag's getting heavy, and I just can't seem to move on to another field. I mean, just picking and picking and picking it. Just right behind the camera here. One after the other. If you guys have seen harvests like this or abundance like this, definitely leave it in the comments below. I'm interested to hear if this is a uncommon, because I've never seen this. Like, anywhere you look, like I'm sitting here and I'm looking and there's mushrooms all over the place. It's out of the way. I want to know if I'm actually seeing a record season, because it feels like it. We're just getting started. I mean, I'm planning to be out here for a good couple of hours, or I guess the right way to say it is I'm going to be here till my bags are filled. Like I said, I feel a little guilty. It's not really hunting, it's more of like harvesting. There's a certain level of like expectation that you come in, you're lowering them, and you're like, okay, you know, I'll be out here and I'll pick X amount of mushrooms, and like I thought I want a bag. I was like, I'm gonna pick a bag of mushrooms. Now the weather is good. There is wind coming in, a little higher winds coming in, so we'll see how that goes. I'm moving up the mountain right now from the motorcycle, kind of making my way up that. The slope is up that way, and I'm making my way that way. There's a little bit of a clearing that I see out between the trees out there, so I want to see if that's a nice little viewpoint up there. Let's keep working. This is a really good size. The place here is pretty steep. It's treacherous coming up here, down there, but I am finding mushrooms, so I guess the trip wasn't wasted. If you call riding a motorcycle a wasted trip, I mean, I guess you might have other problems. Pretty sure I am missing a few. It's a lot of real estate to cover, so there's definitely going to be some in these areas, and they love little tree falls, like little areas where you can find singed embers and timber, and then little holes like this. They'll sometimes grow on the edge. They'll be sometimes hidden by stuff like this, and then here's a good example right there. Little guy. You need to be really scanning with your eyes out here, because a lot of these needles, they're the same color as the mushrooms. Why I like picking mushrooms is you get to disconnect from your day-to-day life, the highways, the freeways, your 9-to-5 if you have a 9-to-5 job, or your business, your company. You get to disconnect from that, and then you make it out here and reflect on things, reflect on yourself. You get to relax out here. And yeah, some people might say, well, it's not relaxing hiking up a mountain, but mentally it is relaxing. It's something that I highly recommend more people do. That's what I mean by there's an abundance out here. This is crazy. I have barely moved in this area, and I mean, if you just look right up ahead, right there, this is insane. I'm getting tired of, like, my hands are hurt from picking. Last year, It was not like this. The mushrooms are very juicy. It shows good quality. They're not dried out. I have seen some dried out mushrooms out here, but these particular ones, the field that I'm in right now, the mushrooms are nice, fat, and juicy. And these are the hands of success. Alright guys, after a full day of riding and hunting through the woods, I ended up with about 20 pounds of beautiful fresh morels. That's a serious score for one motorcycle trip. These aren't just any mushrooms. Morels are one of the most sought after wild edibles out there. Right now on the market, fresh morels are going for anywhere from $40 to $60 per pound, depending on quality and location. That means that today's haul would easily be worth $800 to $1,200 if I were selling it to restaurants or at a farmer's market. Crazy, right? But honestly, the real value is bringing them home to enjoy myself. From the thrill of the hunt to knowing I got months of gourmet eating ahead, this is what makes foraging on two wheels so rewarding. Back at home after an incredible haul. First up, I gently spread them out on the table in a single layer to air dry. Good airflow is key. This helps preserve their flavor and texture naturally before I move them to the dehydrator or store them long term. And one of my favorite ways to process them is sauteing fresh. I throw them in a hot pan with plenty of butter, some diced onions, a good pinch of salt, and freshly cracked black pepper. The smells that fill the kitchen is absolutely delicious. Earthy, nutty, and totally irresistible. Once they're perfectly cooked down, I let them cool and vacuum seal them in portions. I've got ready-to-use morels in the freezer that taste like I just picked them. From the forest floor to the dinner table, that's the full circle of a great foraging adventure. I hope you enjoyed this one. It has been a very successful trip. Very happy I made it out here, made some time. I ended up taking 2 bags of mushrooms, the morels. Like I was saying earlier, I could not believe what I was seeing. At one point, you just start walking and you look for the bigger fields with the bigger mushrooms, because all the smaller ones, they're just not, there's no point in picking them at that point. So I really enjoyed today. The views were amazing, as always. And the bike, well, the bike performed as advertised, especially after the work that I've done to it. But I thank you guys for watching, and please leave a like, a comment, and I ask that you please subscribe, and I will see you guys on the next one.